Hi, I'm Katie Todd, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the week I've had. It's been amazing. This is about 2 funerals that I went to on 2 consecutive days, and that may never happen for me again in this life. It was an amazing experience. I actually find something wonderful about funerals, that we can go and celebrate and hear all about someone's life, understand who they were. You always find out things that you didn't know about them. And you see in the grief which touches your heart so deeply, and you feel their pain, but you see love. You see how loved these people were and how important they were and how special they were to so many, and how they're going to be so deeply, deeply missed. One was the funeral for a much, much older man. He'd had a long illness. And one was a funeral for a man exactly the same age as me, 47, with young kids, the same age as my kids, who was taken very suddenly from his family. Celebrated in completely different ways. I think funerals, like weddings, are wonderful in that they can say exactly who you are. You do it in your own style. You say it how you want to say it. But it was very much about respecting and naming and honouring their lives. In some ways, both men had had slightly difficult relationships. They were strong, passionate men, and they'd been a bit argumentative and angry and pretty black and white in their views, may I say. But as the people got up, one after the other, the children, friends, family got up to speak about them. You know, they were acknowledged, the shadows, if you like, the foibles that we have, they were acknowledged, but they spoke at length about how much they loved them and what was wonderful about them. They all spoke about how they wished they'd had more time with them, how much fun they'd had with them, how they valued them. And the magic times were the times not when they were doing and achieving and worried about paying this bill or this mortgage or getting that car. It was about when they were resting. It was when they were just being and hanging out together in maybe a really ordinary little place or in a mansion. It didn't matter. It was about being together. And this, I think, is what life is all about. It is about the quality of our relationships. Some of the people said to me, "Oh, thank you so much for coming." They thanked all of us for coming to the funeral. And I said, and I meant it, where else would I be? There is nothing more important than honouring and remembering and acknowledging the part that people have played in our lives. Have a think about what might happen for your funeral. What would you like to be said about you, where you've been, what you've done? You might have done a lot of amazing things, but they're probably not going to list all your achievements. In fact, they didn't list all the achievements. They talked about their qualities of how they related, the words of wisdom that they gave them, the shared experiences. They taught me to ride a car. They taught me to ride a horse. They took me surfing. We went on a holiday and Dad took me to Java and I learned to surf. That was the best experience of my life. I'll never forget it. Those magic things where you take the time out of your busy lives, out of all this proving, achieving, getting somewhere. You don't need to, because you are loved, you are valued, you are special. They were the special times. It was being there together and doing things together. A friend of mine was talking the other day about how he's trying to encourage this guy to take some time out of his busy work. He runs an empire, to take his little girls out to the park. He said, "Just go for half an hour." He said, "I've checked the weather for you. Tuesday's the only good day this week. The rest is going to be rainy and wintry. Go on, take him out." He didn't. And I thought after the funerals, you know, my friend is so right. There is nothing more important. He might be doing a big multi-million-dollar deal, but spending that time with the ball with those little girls is what they'll love and remember their dad for. That is what counts, those words of wisdom. Or you know what? It's sharing openly about where you've been in your life, the mistakes you've made, the clangers you've made. You know, how you've really stuffed up at times, and haven't we all? That endears us to our friends and to our family, and it makes our kids feel better about their mistakes and that they're allowed to make some as well. But we can also guide them and inspire them and give them our wisdom of experience. At one of the funerals, the son who's my age said, "You know, I grilled Dad and I found out some stuff I'd only just discovered in the last few weeks. They were so precious to him, the new things he found out." His dad had been a little bit of an enigma, a mystery. He'd been a bit closed, didn't want people knowing too much, a little bit private, as had the other one. That was such a shame. Everyone spoke of how they wished they'd known them more. And you know what? I find that the more we know of people, the more we love them. The people in your life want to know you a whole lot better. They want to know what you think, where you've been, your experiences, what you feel. You matter. We actually are all equal. And at the end of the day, when it's your funeral and you've had your special music chosen or whatever, let's hope people can celebrate and we see how many lives you've touched. Because trust me, you have already touched a lot of lives, but our capacity to keep loving and touching other lives is endless. For me, it was just a wake-up call and a reminder that that's the most important thing, to be generous and kind and loving and available for the people in my life, and of course to myself, so that I can keep being in that space.